Hey there, fellow gardeners. As I walked through my yard this morning, crunching through the carpet of crimson maples and golden oak leaves, I couldn't help but think about all the conversations I've had with gardeners who are unknowingly sabotaging their gardens with fall leaf management mistakes. After 20 years of trial and error in my own garden, I've learned that autumn leaves aren't just nature's cleanup challenge, they're pure gardening gold when handled correctly. But here's the thing, most of us are doing it all wrong. I see it every fall in neighborhoods across the country, and I've made plenty of these mistakes myself. Today, I want to share the 8 biggest blunders I see gardeners making with fall leaves, because once you understand these pitfalls, you'll transform what feels like autumn's biggest chore into your garden's secret weapon. Mistake number 1. Bagging all your leaves for municipal pickup. I get it feels so satisfying to rake everything into those brown paper bags and watch the city truck haul them away. But every time you do this, you're literally throwing away nature's most perfect soil amendment. Those leaves contain all the nutrients that tree pulled from deep in the soil throughout the growing season: potassium, phosphorus, calcium, and trace minerals that your garden desperately needs. Instead of sending this treasure to the landfill, think of fall leaves as free fertilizer delivered right to your doorstep. Even if you only keep half of what falls in your yard, you'll notice the difference in your soil quality within a single growing season. I started keeping my leaves 15 years ago, and my vegetable garden has never been more productive. Mistake number 2, leaving thick layers on your lawn. Here's where, many well-intentioned gardeners go wrong in the opposite direction. While it's true that a light sprinkling of leaves can actually benefit your grass, leaving thick mats will smother your lawn faster than you can say spring renovation. I learned this lesson the hard way when I decided to let nature take its course one autumn. Come spring, I had perfect leaf-shaped dead patches throughout my lawn. The key is balance. A thin layer that you can still see grass through will decompose over winter and feed your lawn naturally. Anything thicker needs to be raked up, but don't despair. Those excess leaves are perfect for your garden beds and compost pile. I use my mulching mower to chop up the light layer remaining on the lawn, which speeds decomposition and prevents matting. Mistake number 3, adding whole leaves directly to compost without preparation. This mistake used to frustrate me endlessly. I'd dump wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of whole leaves into my compost bin, expecting beautiful black gold by spring. Instead, I'd get a slimy, anaerobic mess that smelled like a swamp. Whole leaves mat together, creating impermeable layers that block airflow and water movement, the kiss of death for proper composting. The solution is simple, but game-changing: shred those leaves first. I run mine through my mulching mower, but you can also use a leaf shredder or even stomp on them in a garbage can. Shredded leaves compost beautifully because they have more surface area for microorganisms to work on, and they don't mat together like whole leaves do. Mix them with nitrogen-rich materials like grass clippings or kitchen scraps, and you'll have the best compost of your gardening life. Mistake number 4, using only one type of leaf for mulch. Not all leaves are created equal, and this is where many gardeners miss an opportunity to optimize their mulch game. I used to think a leaf was a leaf, but I've learned that different species offer different benefits and challenges. Oak leaves are fantastic because they break down slowly and don't mat as much as maple leaves. Maple leaves decompose quickly but can form impermeable mats if applied too thickly. The secret is creating your own custom blend. I mix fast decomposing leaves like maple and ash with slower breaking leaves like oak and beech. This gives me both immediate soil improvement and long-lasting mulch coverage. Cherry and other fruit tree leaves should be avoided if you've had disease issues, but most common shade tree leaves make excellent mulch when properly prepared. Mistake number 5, applying leaf mulch too early in the season. Timing is everything in gardening, and leaf mulch application is no exception. I used to rush out and spread fresh leaves around my plants as soon as they fell, thinking I was being proactive. But applying fresh leaf mulch too early can actually harm your plants by tying up soil nitrogen as the leaves begin to decompose, leaving your plants nutrient deficient at a crucial time. The sweet spot for leaf mulch application is after your plants have gone dormant but before the ground freezes hard. In most areas this means late November through early December. At this point, your plants aren't actively growing and won't compete with the decomposition process for nitrogen. Come spring, those leaves will have begun breaking down, releasing nutrients just as your plants wake up and start their growth cycle. Mistake number 6, ignoring leaves as insect habitat. Here's a mistake that reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of garden ecology. Many gardeners rake up every single leaf because they think they're eliminating pest problems, but they're actually destroying beneficial insect habitat. Native bees, butterflies, and countless beneficial insects depend on leaf litter for overwintering sites. When we eliminate all leaves, we're disrupting the very ecosystem balance that helps control garden pests naturally. You know, I've learned to leave designated wild areas in my landscape where leaves can accumulate naturally. These spots, they become winter retreats for beneficial insects and emerge as biodiversity hotspots come springtime. And hey, you don't need to leave your entire yard wild. Even a small area under shrubs or tucked away in a back corner can make a significant difference in your garden's ecological health. Mistake number 7, not considering leaf pH impact on plant health. This is a bit of a more advanced concept that honestly, many experienced gardeners overlook. Different tree species produce leaves with varying pH levels, and when these leaves decompose, they can really impact your soil chemistry. Take oak leaves, for instance. They're naturally acidic and perfect for acid-loving plants like blueberries, azaleas, and rhododendrons. But, using oak leaf mulch around plants that prefer neutral or alkaline soil can create problems. So, I keep different leaf types separated and use them strategically throughout my landscape. Maple and ash leaves, they're relatively neutral, making them perfect for vegetable gardens and most perennial beds. I save my oak leaves specifically for my acid-loving plants and avoid using them around my herb garden, where most plants prefer neutral to slightly alkaline conditions. Mistake number 8, failing to store leaves properly for year-round use. You know, the biggest game changer in my gardening practice has been learning to store leaves properly for use throughout the growing season. Most gardeners, well, they think of leaves as a fall-only resource, but properly stored leaves can serve your garden all year long. I used to compost everything immediately, but now, I store bags of shredded leaves in my garage for use as summer mulch, compost browns, and even potting mix amendments. The key to successful leaf storage is keeping them dry and allowing for some air circulation. I use mesh bags or old garbage cans with holes drilled in the sides. Stored this way, leaves remain viable for mulch and composting for up to 2 years. Having this reserve means I can mulch my tomatoes in June, add browns to my compost pile in summer, and always have materials on hand for garden projects. These 8 mistakes represent years of learning, experimenting, and sometimes, failing in my own garden. But that's the beauty of gardening. Every mistake teaches us something valuable. By avoiding these common pitfalls, you're not just saving yourself time and frustration, you're unlocking the incredible potential that fall leaves offer every garden. Remember, sustainable gardening isn't about fighting against nature. It's about working with natural processes to create healthier, more resilient growing spaces. Those autumn leaves aren't yard waste, they're your garden's natural renewal system delivered free every fall. If this article helped you see fall leaves in a new light, I'd love for you to subscribe to Grow with Soil for more practical gardening wisdom. Share this with a fellow gardener who might be making these same mistakes. Together, we can build a community of gardeners who work with nature instead of against it. Happy gardening!